Now, if you're sick and tired of the battle between various laptop makers about who has the thinnest or the most portable notebook on the planet, I get it. It can be a little much sometimes. However, if you're a fan of a gaming laptop that's just really easy to carry around, at CES 2024, HP has something you're probably going to be pretty interested in with this, the Omen Transcend 14, which, if I can do my best Jeremy Clarkson impression, is the lightest 14-inch gaming laptop in the world. As the little brother to the Omen Transcend 16, which came out last year, and which, by the way, is getting updated specs for 2024, the Transcend 14's big claim to fame, obviously, is that lightness, which stands at 1.6 kilograms, or about 3.5 pounds. Now that's just super light, really easy to carry around, and so even though it might not be the thinnest, that extra sleekness and reduced weight is definitely going to make a difference when you're carrying around in your bag all day. Now, that said, even though it is a 14-inch system, you're still looking at some pretty solid specs. We're talking a 14-inch 2.8K OLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate and full VRR support. You're also going to get new 14th gen Intel Meteor Lake chips, either Ultra 7 or Ultra 9 chips, with up to 32 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage. Some other interesting features on the Transcend 14 is that HP is kind of leaning on some design cues from its gaming division, HyperX, to make the keyboard pop just a little bit more, because if you notice inside that lattice, it's clear, which is kind of borrowing from some of the effects you get with those HyperX's pudding keycaps, and it really just lets that RGB shine through even more. And it looks good on this black model, but it looks even better on the white version. You also get a really nice selection of ports. So if you see here on the left side right here, there's a single USB-C port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. In back, you get a full-size HDMI port and another USB-C port, which is actually really useful because this thing charges over USB-C, so you don't need any proprietary power bricks. Always really nice to see. And then on the right, we have 2 more USB-A ports. So you're really well covered in terms of peripherals and data connectivity. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention is that anytime I'm looking at a new laptop from one of those megacorps like HP, I'm always curious about the special sauce that mega laptop makers can inject into their system. So on the Transcend 14, kind of similar to the Transcend 16, that comes with a built-in dongle for these, the HyperX Cloud 3 headphones. And that's really cool because the system will be available as a bundle with the headphones, so you get them at a discounted price if you buy them together. But even if you don't do that and you buy it separately later, way after you buy the laptop, that means you don't have to use a dongle when using these laptops, which just makes the system just a little bit more streamlined if you keep, everything all in that HP ecosystem. So that's a really cool little added bonus for people who might already be interested in HyperX's Cloud 3 headphones. Another interesting thing is that because it has one of Intel's new Meteor Lake chips, that means the system has a dedicated NPU. So while that might not seem super useful while gaming, if we can go to HP Demo Station over there, we can see some evidence of what that can do for gamers in action. So here we are at HP's Demo Station, and as you can see, we're running Cyberpunk 2027. Now I should mention that this is at 1440p, so not full resolution, but still pretty good. But why that's really important is that if I Alt-Tab real quick, you can see we got OBS streaming in the background at 1080p, and we're using some of the NPU from Intel's Raptor Lake chip to offload some of the camera effects to that dedicated NPU. And that's really nice because normally that processing would be handled by the GPU. But if you're streaming and playing a game, you want the GPU to be focused on doing game stuff, and then you let that NPU handle the camera stuff. So it's kind of, distributing out some of the performance to various parts of the chip, which is really nice when you're trying to multitask just like this. Finally, when it comes to graphics horsepower, because this thing is a bit smaller, you don't get the full range of RTX GPUs, so this thing tops out at an RTX 4070, although there will be 4060 and 4050 configs available as well. But for a super light laptop, remember this is the lightest gaming laptop in the world, with decent specs and a pretty good price. This thing is going to start at around $1,600. This is a really nice portable system for people who care about taking their games on the go. And that's kind of where I'm at because I like a good all-rounder. I don't necessarily need to bring the most powerful system with me everywhere when I'm traveling. Now to wrap this up, aside from the new Omen gaming systems, HP does have a bunch of refresh systems across its consumer and professional line. So for more on that, stay tuned to Engadget.com and then come back to us here on YouTube for more news, hands-ons, and videos.